Start off, we have Anna, Eager Acolyte. So she is a 3-cost uninkable 1/3 with growing powers. When you play this character, each opponent chooses and exerts one of their ready characters. Interesting effect, but we already have lower cost Pinocchio, and there's other with the new Elsa coming up, so I just don't see it seeing play.
Yep, very much so. One that I think we will see some play, though, out of Archimedes, Exasperated Owl. Now, this one being a 2/2, questing for 2, and the lovely cost of 3, seems a little high, but with that evasive, I think he'll fit in pretty good in a lot of decks, especially with the shift target.
Yeah, no, evasive can't be understated.
Exactly.
And then next up we got Cogsworth, Illuminary Watchman. So this is a 1-cost 1/1, quest for 1, and he has the ability to time to move it. When you play this character, you can give a chosen character a rush this turn that includes himself. I think this card has a lot of potential here.
Yeah, very much so. Like, there's some combos you can probably pull off. Initially I look at it and think, why do you want it? I guess as a 1/1, fairly weak, but...
Yeah, we've seen the Rush cards be played. I mean, we saw Vital Sphere see play last set, which gave Rush. Amethyst already has a lot of 1-drops, but this is definitely potential. He's good to bounce, too, giving you that side eye on there. So I definitely think worth keeping an eye on.
Yeah, sounds good. One that's kind of an interesting, I think, is Earth Giant, this living mountain. Now, it is a 4-cost for a 4/5 and quest for 2. I mean, that's a pretty good deal, except for when you play him, he is going to let your opponent draw a card. I mean, why would you want to do that? I mean...
Yeah, kind of, you know, giving your opponent advantage is not where you want to be.
Yeah.
Plays well with Whole New World, so...
There you go. Some decks could play him, I think.
Yep, and then next up we have Gale Wind Spirit. So, 3-cost 1/2, quest for 2, and has the effect of when this character is banished in a challenge, return it to your hand, which is great until you remember that every steel card under the sun deals with this card, and suddenly I don't think it's good anymore.
Yeah, gone like the wind. Then we have the Gathering Knowledge and Wisdom. Ooh, a little bit more spice for instant lore gain. Gain 2 lore for the credible cost of 2 uninkable. Now, I mean, how can this be bad in purple? I don't know. But there might be other 2 costs that you might want to play over it as an action and not a song or character establishing board. I think it will still see some good play.
Yep.
Just will it be top
Hard
tier?
time to see it not somewhere, at least.
Yeah. I don't think it's an auto-include, that's for sure.
Yeah, not for sure. Last 60. And next up, we have Hypnotic Strength. So, 2-cost action, draw a card, and chosen character gains Challenger +2 this turn. We've seen these styles effects before. This one does draw you a card, so higher chance, but probably just not going to be there.
Then we have Maleficent, another Maleficent on board. This one is the Vengeful Sorceress at a 2-cost, 2/2, 2-ink. Seen a lot more of this stat line coming around. Pretty vanilla, pretty basic. Not much to say.
Seen play a little bit, so if you're playing Shift, maybe.
Yeah, or some aggro. Yeah.
For sure. Then we have the Merlin Turtle. So 4-cost 3/3, quest for 2. When you play him and he leaves play, you look at the top 2 cards. You can put one on the top and the other on the bottom. We've seen these types of effects in the previous sets. It's just not too great. Just not going to see much play.
Yeah. Then we have the Retrosphere. Item, pay 2, banish it, and you get to banish this item, return chosen character, item, or location with cost 3 or less to their player's hand. I mean, 1, so effectively a 3 cost. You could save it up. It's a nice little bounce, but overall...
A little pricey.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, and then next up we have the Knock. So, 6-cost 5/5, quest for 1. When you play him, you may move up to 2 damage counters from chosen character to chosen opposing character. We've started to see a lot of support for the damage move archetype, but this guy's just too expensive. 6 cost really need to affect the game a lot better than moving 2 damage.
Yeah, I do kind of like the art, though.
Oh, art's gorgeous. There's no question there.
Then we have our favorite Royal Herald here in the White Rabbit. You know, I'm running late for sure because this guy's not making it to any decks. I think he's just not special enough at a 3/4 cost 3.
Just doesn't do anything. But something that might do something coming up is going to be the Amethyst Chromonicon. So another one of those of the 6 here. This one has the ability that each player may draw a card. Card draw is always good, and in an aggro deck, you don't care that your opponent's drawing cards, so it does have some high potential to go and see play.
I agree. I think Jafar Wheel might kind of actually see this one.
Yeah, anything that can go and like wheel your opponent and remove the card advantage is going to have potential with it.
Then we have another nice little one to discuss here of the Archimedes Enlightened Owl. Now this one comes in as a shift 3. Our other Archimedes there. He's only a 1/4. So kind of feels a little weak at a 5 cost though, but again, you could shift him at 3 for 2 lore, but does have evasive and challenger plus 3.
Yep, I think something that's good to mention is just how much health he has.
Yes.
So being able to go and just sit there, quest out, he gets to deal with any Minnie Mouse Surfer, he gets to deal with any Diablo,
Yep.
even if he's at the location. I think he's just, if evasives become the meta, I think you'll see purple decks run him to deal with him.
Yeah, absolutely. At that shift 3 gives that really crucial turn 3 play to counter
that's the
most
spot
anything.
you want to be. All right, next up we have Bruni, Fire Salamander. So 4 cost 2/2, evasive, quests for 2, and when this character is banished, you may draw a card. So at least she replaces herself.
Yeah.
Not going to be too great here.
Exactly.
I think just at 4, it's a little late to be trying with a 2/2.
Yeah, it's, again, really cute artwork. My son loves it, but sorry.
It's great.
Then we have our action of Finders Keepers. Good old Iago flying off with a lamp. Draw 3 cards. Cool. 5 cost. I'm much cheaper.
Another action that maybe we'll see play with the free action cards.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing too special that I would really be including.
Alright, next up we have the King of Hearts, Monarch of Wonderland. So, 4 cost 1/4, quest for 2, stats not too great, and you can go and exert him to go and make chosen exerted character not right at the start of their next turn. Not a bad effect, but I think at 4, it's not going to do anything.
Yeah, he's kind of easily wiped out. Then we got our Magical Aid, Genie with the really buff Aladdin here, ready to throw some punches. You might be missing though here, sure. You get to do a Challenger plus 3, and when they're banished, you can return them to hand. I think we saw a really similar thing with the Fairy Godmother, except for that one felt like it did a little bit more. And so I'm just...
Yeah, there have been other bounce effects too. They've printed us a few. It's never quite locked the format. But next up, we have the 3 cost Maleficent, the 0/4 quester for 2 herself. And whenever she quests, you may choose and discard a card to return chosen character, item, or location with cost 3 or less to their player's hand. Would be a great idea if you didn't have to discard from your hand.
Yep. Fully agree. Another bulk card. Speaking of some trash bulk, we've got Monstro, whatever. He's a Whale of Whales and is going to sit in your cardboard box. At a 5 cost, 5/6, 1 quester. I'm just not seeing it, especially in Amethyst. It doesn't fit.
It's just a vanilla big sick.
Yeah.
Alright, next up, we have the Library, a gift for Belle. So this is a 3 cost location with 8 willpower that has 1 lore gain, which I think is very important for locations to have, so they're at least a constant threat. You can move here for 1, and this has the effect, whenever a character is banished here, you may draw a card. This, I think, has a lot of potentials in certain areas, so it has board wipe protection pseudo, at least you get advantage, and it's good with the brooms that like to go and sacrifice the draw anyways.
Exactly. Anyone that you're going to toss in to, banish themselves. Chernobog's followers even. They could move over to there on turn 2 perhaps. They stuck around. You need to draw 1 extra card. Banish, and now you're getting 2 cards.
Right.
So, I mean, I see some great potential. The 8 health is very beefy. It'll keep you in the game a little bit longer. Yep. But again, I think you have to kind of build around it. There's a certain type that you're going to have to use with this.
Not even past the build around, just any location that lets you just get card advantage, as we've seen with Queen's Castle, has high potential.
Yeah, there you go. And it's cheaper than the Queen's Castle. But then we have Anna, the Mystical Majesty. She has a pretty powerful effect here. When you play this character, exert all opposing characters. Not too bad. Very big sweep. She is a 7 uninkable, though. At a 4/5, is beefy with a shift 4. I don't really see playing her outside of shift though, and even then, it's cool, but then you're planning on challenging and not questing, right?
Yep, and in most decks she sees play in red, you'd rather just be prepared.
Yep.
And then other decks you can also I'd rather play the high cost shift Elsa instead. Alright, and then next up we have, speaking of Elsa, we have Elsa's Ice Palace. So, 3 uninkable, 1/4 that gains 1 lore, but whenever you go and play this location, you choose an exerted character in play and they can't ready at the start of their turn. It's an interesting effect. I do like lockdown effects, but I think at uninkable 3 cost that only has 4 willpower, I think it's just a bit too expensive for what it's doing.
Yeah, your opponent's just going to take it out and then ready their character next turn.
Easy peasy.
Right. Now for It Hurts My Head, a little bit one of the worst cards of the Amethyst set, besides the whale even maybe, is the Half Hexwell Crown. 6 uninkable, some cool effect. Exert it, pay 2, draw a card, is useful. But then you also have exert, pay 2, discard a card, exert a chosen character. I'm just not seeing any play here. It's just such an expensive item. It's going to hit the field, maybe used once, opponent removes it.
Yep, I'd say maybe if the magical Dispel 7 Uninkable sees play in an item deck, then maybe, but otherwise just not happening.
Yeah, we haven't seen it yet with some stuff, so...
No.
Yeah.
Right, then we have Luisa Madrigal. So, 6 cost, 4/8 quest for 3. So, the biggest and beefiest of the vanilla that we have here, but I do think at this high at this high cost, not affecting the board is where you want to be at this time.
And then, speaking of Magical Dispel, we just mentioned, you have this one at the Cruel Sorceress holding the Trident, so I don't know if that's a little hint at something that we might see.
Right. They've been hinting of villains with everyone this set.
Yes, they have. So we've got a 4 inkable 2/5 quest for 1, but her ability is during your opponent's turn, if an effect would cause you to discard 1 or more cards from your hand, you don't discard. Great, right? We're going to stop discard by this.
Guys, just in time for Bucky. It's okay, guys. It's safe. Don't worry.
I mean, there are some other cards out there still, and there's other ones we'll get to later in the other colors.
Right.
But I think she has good potential to...
Right. One of Emerald's core is discarding your hand, and usually it's during the opponent's turn. And so with that, it would be useful to have this out. You play it out, you're safe, no worries there, and I do think that is very powerful, especially I don't think Emerald Steel is going to suddenly drop off the cliff with Bucky gone.
Oh, no, not at all. I think it's still going to have some potential. But either way, I don't think she's going to be a full package, but maybe a couple.
Yep. Then next up, we have Olaf, Happy Passengers. So, here's another one of the cost reductors, but I do think this is going to be the worst of the bunch. He gets his cheap effect from having exerted player characters in play, but it only reduces 1 cost. There's not many board states where you're going to have a lot of characters for that, and so I think he's probably going to be a 6 or 7 on average, which is just too expensive.
Yeah, and why does he have evasive? I mean,
because why not?
He's a giant...
Just give him some evasive. Look, they're really sneaky. You got to watch out.
Big snowman stomping through. And stomping through here we have Rafiki, the Shaman Duelist. Yet another in the line of Rafikis. This one, however, is a 1/4 with a 4 uninkable, quest for 2, and kind of even worse, when you play this character, he gains Challenger +4. So, I don't know. I think I like other Rafikis.
Yeah, how good is a 1/4 on average after?
Yeah, I just like other Rafikis better, personally.
And then next up, we have the song of that We Know the Way. So 3 cost song. So this shuffles chosen card from your discard into your deck, and then reveal the top card of your deck. If it has the same name as the chosen card, you may play the revealed card for free, otherwise you put it into your hand. Some potential there. Someone's going to go and hit that one in a million RNG shot and like drag it into dragging you, and it's going to feel bad. And maybe with these archetype decks like Brooms or Queens coming up, you might be able to just say Broom and hit. So I think at least worth keeping an eye on, but I don't think it's going to get anywhere.
Yeah. Bruno and Dalmatians, baby.
Hey, it's coming.
Now, thinking of something that's really coming at you big here is the Elsa Fifth Spirit. This is a 5 inkable at a 2/5. Okay, sounds kind of low, quest for 1, but Rush and Evasive. Those are 2 pretty big combos on the same card. Just come in and start hitting stuff, right? But let's also add on there, when you play this character, exert chosen opposing character.
Yep, and that's just the trio of every ability you'd want on a purple character. She comes down, she deals with what you need, she gets things readied, she's hard to deal with, big health, good shift target, just everything about her sings Play Me.
Yeah, oh, and you're right, the big shift target. I mean, we go back to Chapter 1, right? Has a pretty beefy Elsa.
Locked down the meta single-handedly for a little bit there.
Yep, just start exerting and freezing everybody, right? So, I mean, I think this is one of the stars of Amethyst on this set, I think.
100%. Worth just getting up. And it is going to be in the intro starter decks, too, so it is easy to pick up. So look forward to that.
Oh, that'll be really nice to have.
Right, then next up, Madam Mim is back and with a vengeance. So we have Madam Mim Elephant, 4 cost, 3/7. She has 2 abilities, so the standard little game, you've seen it on all your other Madams. When you play her, you either need to banish her or bounce another one of your characters, which turns out is usually an upside. And then the other effect she has is at the start of your turn, you may move up to 2 damage counters from this character, the chosen opposing character. She has 7 health, so I could definitely see her just being able to bounce damage around.
Yeah, she's definitely going to tank a lot of hits. That 3 strength does make me a little wary of some endgame removal.
Yeah, Medusa or down Horizon.
Yeah, exactly. Or some, ice block and some other shenanigans there. But I think you're right. She will stick around and she will be a nice addition to the Madam Mims.
Right? It can just be a nightmare. You go and have Madam Mim with a damage out, it goes to your opponent's turn, and they have a character with 2 health. They can't even play because it's just going to be knocked out.
Yep, exactly.
So, potential there.
One that is, debatable for decks here. We have another Maleficent, the Formidable Queen. Now, 8 uninkable. Again, it's that huge number, but she does have a shift 6. So potential there at a 7/7 and a 2 quest. Now, when you play this character, for each of your characters named Maleficent in play, return chosen opposing character, item, or location with cost 3 or less to their player's hand.
Man, that's a lot of words for such a high cost.
It is. It is a mouthful, and it's really only good if you have multiple Maleficents. Well, you're shifting, so you're getting rid of one. So you have
right, so
one.
you'll hit one target, and you look at the playable Maleficents too, there's not that many past the draw one.
Yep.
So, I would say she's going to hit 2, 3 in Magical Christmas Land.
Yeah, and at that high, how much does your opponent really have cost 3 or less still out on the field? Although it could be you too, I guess you could. But what do you bounce on your own? There's nothing.
I just don't see it.
There's nothing good. So.
Yep, and then unfortunately for Amethyst, we're moving on to its legendaries, where I don't feel like it won real well this set. First one is going to be Camillo Madrigal Family Copycat, so 6 cost 3/7. We see that 3 strength again, which is not the spot you want to be. And then whenever this character quests, you may gain lore equal to the lore of chosen other character of yours. Return that character to your hand, so kind of the Arthur effect.
Again, I'm not feeling it as much in this one. It just feels too slow for that high of cost.
Right, and when it comes to late game, you don't want to have your powerhouse card be play it and then say, please don't deal with it, and I'm going to do some cool stuff back on my turn.
Exactly. No, agreed. It's maybe we'll see it play, but And again, unfortunately, another legendary that I just don't see us seeing a lot of play is another Genie. I want to have Genie playable. Come on, let's get some really good Genies here. This Genie is the main attraction even, right? 7 uninkable, 5/5, so the 5 health even I think hurts it, with a 2 quest. But while this character is exerted, keynote, while it's exerted, opposing characters can't ready at the start of their turn. So, some good synergy with some of the other purple card, or some of the other Amethyst cards that we've been seeing in this set. However, he has to stay exerted, so he's either open to a rush, he's open to other removals like Zeus, and you play it, you can't even...
Alright guys, I figured it out. We got the combo.
Yeah.
Play Genie, wait 1 turn, we'll go and play Anna, and tap all 2 of their characters. We got it. We broke him.
Huzzah!
It was just a little slow. You kind of wish it was an on-play effect.
Yes.
Just been a lockdown, or, didn't have to be exerted for his effect.
And sadly, that kind of what wraps up our Amethyst, I think, right?
They have some good players, but overall, probably didn't win as much as other colors this set.